I don't like making the same mistakes twice.
Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Alex Srednoselac, and I'm the writer and director of Cashing Out. Cashing Out's currently in its theatrical release, so I thought I'd do a quick video on some Q&A questions that I've gotten from Facebook and Twitter. So without wasting any time, let's get into it. Susie from Facebook wrote, "What genre is the film?" Crime drama. Because there's a lot of crime and a lot of drama. Crime drama. Thomas from Facebook wrote, "How much of yourself got written into the characters in the story?" A lot of my characters that I've written throughout the past and the present are based off people that I've known in real life, or including myself. I would definitely say there's a lot of myself in Alan, the main character of the movie. You could pretty much argue that this movie is an allegory towards my filmmaking career, with how much Alan wants to be a poker player and how much I want to be a filmmaker. I also see myself in other characters such as Robbie, because I mean, I did write this, so all of those jokes he makes are written by me. I'm pretty funny, I think. Ashley from Facebook wrote, "How did you get the theme about playing cards when you were first writing it? Do you play yourself?" So, interesting enough, the idea originally from this movie came from my playing of blackjack. Shortly after I turned 21, I started playing blackjack. I learned how to play. I didn't count cards or anything fancy like that, but I just learned the basic strategy just so I could go out to the casinos and have fun and actually know what I'm doing. The actual movie, the tournament element of it, came from my playing of blackjack tournaments from local casinos around the area. Some of the budget actually came from me winning some of these tournaments. I actually got second place in 2 pretty high stakes tournaments. I won a couple $1,000s, and I just ended up putting that back into the movie. But also my relationship with my father during these tournaments, I taught him how to play, and we kind of bonded over that experience. So that's kind of where the characters of Alan and Rich's relationship take inspiration from. I don't play cards as much as I used to. I go to a home poker game every once in a while, and I try to play blackjack when I can, but I'm so focused on my filmmaking career that, unfortunately, with gambling, I have to spend a lot of money, and filmmaking is kind of an expensive hobby. What was your inspiration for this film? So obviously my love of blackjack and poker was a huge part of the inspiration of this movie, but I also took a lot of inspiration from a lot of my relationships throughout my life with a lot of my family and my friends. I'm sure if you knew me pretty well and you really dug into my characters, you can figure out who I based who off of. The scripting process was actually one of the hardest parts because I didn't want to make this movie like other gambling movies like Rounders and 21 and a lot of the popular ones, so I had to find some sort of element that would separate it from all those movies. I remember one day a friend of mine, she brought up to me that if they were to ever rob banks, that they would want me on their team because they think that would help in some way. I have no idea how or why, but I'd never thought that I'd be very good at robbing banks. But then I started thinking, like, I'd probably be pretty good at robbing poker games, like high stakes poker games. And then the idea just kind of blossomed from there. Wrote the script within a couple of months, did a few drafts of it. I'd say where Cashing Out is right now, I probably did at least 3 drafts, which isn't a lot, but you have to understand I've been writing this movie for on and off for about 4 years. Chelsea from Twitter writes, "What advice would you give other filmmakers trying to start out in the industry? What did you wish you would have known before starting this project?" I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm in the industry. I'm kind of like way off from the industry because I'm trying to do everything on my own outside of the Hollywood system. But as far as like somebody who's in the same position as me, wanting to make a feature film and all that, I would say just do it. Now there's an asterisk to that because I can just say that I just did it. I'd been working up to it for at least 5 years up to that point. I was making a ton of short films. I was writing some really, really bad stuff. Even the original drafts of Cashing Out were pretty bad too. So I just kept going at it and just doing it over and over and over again until until my stuff started getting better, and then it gave me the confidence into making my own feature film. I actually want to do a whole video series on how I made this, so I think this first video is going to kick that off, hopefully. As far as what I wish I would have known before I started this project, there's not necessarily anything I wish I would have known, because one of the biggest reasons that I made this movie was to figure it out. I didn't want to get a distributor. I didn't want to go off and find financing. I was just going to save whatever money I could, use that money to make the film, and then kind of figure out all of the business aspects of it after that. That's probably not the smartest idea, but so far it's been working out pretty well for me. And the last question we have is from Melinda from Twitter. She asks, what was your favorite scene to film? This is a very difficult question to answer. I would say my favorite scene to probably film is the fight scene towards the end with Alan and Jackie on the stairwell. For some reason, that scene made me feel like a director. Like, I know that's weird to say, but I felt like everything that I wanted in that scene happened the way it should have. So with the blocking, where the actors were standing, that visually tells you how they're feeling. I tried to keep the coverage really simple, keeping it at the 2 angles. Their timing, the way that they say the lines, like, I feel like everything came together. And while that shoot was definitely a difficult one, because we shot that at like 2 or 3 in the morning, I would say that is my personal favorite scene in the movie, both from watching it and also from a filming perspective too. And that's it for today. Thank you to everybody who submitted questions to me. Hopefully I can do more things like this in the future. As I mentioned before, I'm thinking about doing a whole video series of the behind the scenes making of Cashing Out. Since we didn't really get a lot of behind the scenes footage, I still have a lot of information that I would like to share with people to either help them make their films or just solely for entertainment purposes. If you want to check out the film, make sure you visit our website, www.cashingoutfilm.com. We're still currently in theaters for the next couple of weeks. If you're in the Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Missouri, or Florida area, make sure you guys try and check it out in theaters while it's still there. If you miss it, or if you're not in one of those areas, it will be on home video release here shortly after the theatrical screening. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.